Ow.
Okay guys, in today's video we are going to try and do the lost art of tuning the worst carburetor design ever created, the electronic Quadrajet. So these Quadrajet carbs from the factory came sealed. They were, adjusted air fuel wise, idle air, all that stuff from the factory. Then they put plugs in the base plate of the carburetor to keep you from touching those. Problem is, they were never tuned correctly anyways. When my aunt got the car, I think within the first month, it stalled out at stoplights for a while, like a bunch of times. So I had to go back to the dealership to where they pulled the carb out, and then to adjust the carb so it runs correctly, they have to take a hacksaw and cut like a V in the bottom where each of the idle air screws are to allow them to tune it. So if you for some reason have come across a car that still has the plugs and doesn't have the V cut, I mean, that's pretty rare at this point in time. And if you do need to kind of adjust your carburetor, you will actually have to take a hacksaw, and there's dots on either side, and you kind of cut 45-degree V to match it so you can get the plugs out. You'll need to do that to be able to access what we do, and then you need to be able to access the idle air screw on top of the air horn, very top of the carburetor. Sometimes that carb hasn't been touched at all. There's maybe a riveted plate over top that you may have to kind of pop the rivets off and pull the plate out, and then you just adjust that with a screwdriver. So I'm going to preface by saying this is my first time doing this. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I will link the guy's channel who I kind of saw to get the ideas of doing this. I think it's RPO Reproductions or something like that. I don't know. His links is in the channel. You can probably glean more information from that dude if you want to go check that. So order of operations. First of all, actually, let me back up. Why am I needing to tune this? Well, several reasons. The car came from New York and is now down in North Carolina. Slightly different climate. It used to run on 91. I run on 87. I also too had several videos of the car would just randomly cut power and stall out. And one of the videos, or two of the videos, I rebuilt the carburetor. So I touched some stuff, and then also too, when I found out why the car was stalling out, that was being the distributor jacking up. This is supposed to be what the base timing is 6 degrees. I think I was able to get the new distributor timing about 6.5, 7. So that's a little bit off. So the air fuel is going to affect that. So what we need to do this, first of all, to ingest the air fuel on these cars, or on any Quadrajet car, it has to be at operating temperature. That's all fine. I just took the car for a ride. It's a blistering 39 degrees out right now, and I had the T-tops out because it's a T-top car. Why would you ever have those in? So nice and cool. My snot is watering my beard and all that, but we are at operating temperature. So what we're going to do is we'll need to be able to access the idle air screws at the bottom, and for that you will need 2 flexible adjusting carb tuning tools, and then we have a bit that we have to put on top of each to be able to attach to the correct size air fuel mixture. I think it's called a double D size or something. I don't exactly know what size it is. I'm gonna have to pop some on there and see if they fit. Then you'll put the air cleaner back on, because you need to kind of get the initial base stuff set up with the air cleaner on. What you'll also need is a dwell meter. This is the one I got. Sears. Obviously no longer made, since Sears hasn't existed in however many years at this point in time. And did you guys like Sears? I like Sears. I like Sears a lot. It was a great store until freaking Walmart came along and kind of put it out of business. And, Walmart kind of ruined the whole country, considering that they bought and paid for the president that just so happened to be the governor of the state where Walmart was founded, who signed into law the NAFTA, which sent all of our manufacturing jobs over to China and turned our entire economy from manufacturing into a service base, which has screwed us over ever since. But I digress. I mean, it's all important about getting, staining some blue dresses in the White House Oval Office. That's what matters. Anyways, dwell meter. Here you go. So this is what it kind of looks like. It'll be on the dwell setting. You have two connectors here. You have this alligator clip end, which will actually go for this. This is an HEI car. We'll pop off the TAC connection up at the HEI distributor, and then there is this little connector here that will go in there, and then we'll attach the alligator clip to that. If you don't have this, you can maybe just to be able to stick the alligator clip up onto the blade connection on the distributor. If not, you can kind of make one on your own. Then we have another connection right here, which goes to an engine ground. Don't ground it to the battery, ground it to the engine per these instructions. As the car is idling, even though it is a V8 car, every GM car apparently with a Quadrajet will use the 6-cylinder scale right here, the 0 to 60. When the car is idling, I'll take and I will adjust the screws and try and get it as close as possible to a nice idle and 25 on that scale. So right around there. It can be kind of finicky from what I hear, so you'll just kind of adjust it till it's either gets closer to 25 or gets a nice idle. Then once that is all said and done, I'll remove the cover on top so I can access the air bleeder screw, and then you'll adjust it the rest of the way. Twist that air bleeder screw very slowly because it's very finicky, and I made the mistake of when I got this thing just like twisting the hell out of it. Took a while to get it back to it wanted to idle. You'll adjust that to get it as close to 25 on the scale as possible. Make sure that you can position this in some place to where it does not get burned, any of the cablers or anything like that, and just kind of adjust it that way. Now this thing is running pig rich, so hopefully we can kind of take care of that. I'm not going to really be able to talk too much as I'm doing this because the car is going to be running. It's going to be loud. I'm going to have a fan going to try and get all the exhaust and stuff out of the got and to keep air going through the radiator, because you know these things, they're bottom feeders, and unless air is flowing through them, they like to get hot fast. Yeah, other than that, when I take these and put them in there onto the thing, I'm going to take and mark a spot at 12 o'clock for both of them, because they both need to be twisted in or out at the same amount to keep them equal. You don't want to twist one and twist the other one differently. So do that. So I'll mark those, whatever is the 12 o'clock. I'll get some tape and put a mark on it. So that is going to be what I'm going to do. And now I guess I'm just going to set this up and try and get this all going. And that'll be kind of the rest of the video. All right, guys, let's get doing this.
How hard can it be?
Okay, annoyingly, my other camera just keeps doing that low card speed reading thing or whatever. So I'm going to try to film this on my phone. I mean, it actually may probably look better than that damn camera. It's a cheap, like, GoPro knockoff. But anyways, let me show you this one right here. So here's the front of the carburetor, obviously. And where did I set my, here we go, my flashlight. So if you look down under here, you see that little kind of domed area there. And over there on that side, where are you? Focus on that domed area there. That's would normally be plugged off with the bottom sealed up, and that's what has to be cut out so you can get to the idle air screws or the air mixture control screws. And then right here, this right there is your idle air mixture screw. So I'm going to take my tool, once I figure out what bit goes on there, position them, through here, line them up, mark them on top, put the air cleaner back on. Then I'm going to start the car, or hook up the dwell meter as well. Then I'm going to start the car up. And then I will go about adjusting the air mixture screws. And then, once those are close to the 25, like I said, and idling nicely, I'll pop off the air cleaner, adjust that the rest of the way, and hopefully get it back to where it's not, running so damn rich. All right, let me get this set up. So you see the red needle there. That dwell is way, 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 way low. It's moving really slow. I went the wrong direction at first and choked it. Okay, so That was a whole lot of screwing around. The dwell meter never even came close to anywhere near that 25. It just stayed below 10 the whole time, no matter which way I twisted it, nor to idle air. Towards the end, I've been trying to kind of rev it up and see what would happen. It was just like stumbling on its face before it would like pick up speed and start to rev up. So I think I need to find out a baseline setting for these air fuel mixture screws and do that. Figure out how to do that baseline setting and then start back trying this process over again, because now it won't even start, which is unfortunate. It could just be flooded, so I'm going to let that drain down, try it another day. But yeah, like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. Hopefully I'll be able to find really good information on to do this. Maybe look down a factory service manual or something like that and see what to do. But other than that, that would be the process of how you do this, supposedly. Your mileage may vary. So yeah, guys, anyways, count this as a failure. I'm not opposed to showing you failures, because people gotta learn. But that's all I'm gonna do for today. So I guess like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff. And see you guys next time.